Bonjour, bonsoir, buenos dias, buenas noches. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about Catfish. And Cammy wasn't in this particular episode. She was out, but they had someone who was covering for her, which is Devin. All right, guys, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't yet done so and turn on your post notifications. So the person that is the star of this episode is Matt. Matt, he's 20, he's from Arkansas, and he's talking to a little mama named Elise, who is 25, also from Arkansas. And, even though they live near, they haven't met up. Isn't that always the classic story? He hasn't FaceTimed her or anything like that, but they do talk on the phone and they text each other all the time. She has TikTok, and that's how they met, but no other social media. So he feels safe to talk to her. He feels like she gives him something that his other friends are not able to. Like, he can speak to her without feeling judged or anything like that, which is a great feeling to have in some potential, mate, if you want to call it that. So he has been hurt before. His ex cheated on him with his roommate, and he said he thinks they're still together after all this time. So yeah, that definitely hurts, and it's definitely a stinger because he probably lost two people during that betrayal, probably his roommate as well as his girl. So now they started to do their investigation once he gave them all the pictures and stuff like that. He told them the story, and he also mentioned something that was great to hear, which is that she never asked him for any money. So that could mean that it's genuine, right? Is it ever genuine? Sometimes. So they started to do their investigation, like I said, and they found her instantly when they did the reverse image search. And turns out that her name is not Elise, it's actually Rose, and she has over 64,000 followers. Because everything that she was posting on her TikTok, it was giving influencer vibes, but she was saying that she wasn't an influencer. So it didn't seem to add up too well. Like, it was just so, magnifique, like just really well put together. And nobody does that on a regular basis. Like, no real person, unless you're trying to be some type of influencer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody nowadays, they're doing things because they're sponsored or they want to be sponsored, influencers, etc. I remember back in my days when I first started my YouTube journey, we used to call ourselves YouTubers, or I used to call myself a YouTube personality or a YouTuber, but it was never influencer. That came probably in the 2019, 2018, somewhere around there, but it wasn't back in the days at all. Like I said, I used to say just like YouTuber or YouTube personality. But yeah, things have changed so much just in the world. But they started, like I said, to investigate, and then they found out all these things. And he said that they did find another guy. I forgot what he said his name was, but he said he had like a similar story to Matt, where she found him on the lives and she was interacting and they started talking, but when he wanted to FaceTime her, she kind of ghosted him. So he kind of felt like maybe her profile might have been fake. Boom. So now once they told Matt everything, he instantly started to become, he seemed like he was sad. He was saddened by the news, a bit taken aback, and he realizes now that everything could just have been all a facade, like just a lie. So, of course, he's starting to worry about that. And he was like, this is crazy because, and this is the thing that I always say as well, like, it takes a lot of effort to lie and to be consistent with your lies, and kudos to scammers and liars, because that's a tough job. When you really just sit down and think about it, like, we get mad at them, but like when you really think about it, they're very skillful people, because the art of deception that they use and just the level that they go through and just what they will do in order to validate their lies and gaslight you and manipulate you is absolutely like genius. It really is. Like, it's literally an art form. Anyways, so yeah, Elise, she ends up texting them back because they texted her, you know, just to kind of meet up or whatever. And then she was saying that she doesn't want to upset Matt and she doesn't want to upset Neve. And it's like, wait, hold on, Neve, like, does she know you or something? You know, that's what Devin was saying. Like, does he know you? Like, what, does she know you? What's going on with that? He's like, I have no idea. This is a little bit weird, you know? So they go to the location, to the park. And first they see like a little blonde little mama come out of a car. But she looked like she was actually the driver. And there was somebody in the back. She talks to the person in the back. The person in the back comes out. Lo and behold, it's Carmella from a previous episode. So that right there was absolutely terrible. And we just knew what it was as soon as she came out the car. It was like, no. I definitely remember her because what she was doing was using like the Facetune or some kind of AI in order to slim down her photos and make, even though it was her, it wasn't really her. It was like an AI version of her that she was using. So Neve was kind of like, isn't this kind of like a step down for you? Because, you know, before you were at least using yourself, even though it wasn't really your photos, you know? And she was like, yeah, she said that she kind of stopped for a little bit, but maybe, well, she said like 3 days, a little bit, 3 days after they filmed and stuff like that, like she got back on this and started doing this again. But she said to be honest, to be fair, she did say that it was an addiction. And I mean, just because it's not an addiction that's normalized or that people know of or speak on, this can definitely be an addiction. Anything that gives you a dopamine high to where you feel like you need more of it and you long for it and you can't like function properly without it is definitely can be seen as an addiction. So I wouldn't take that away from her. You know, it's probably very hard for her not to get it. And she said, you know, the validation that she received and the attention is what made her not want to stop and feel like she needed this again. And there's some people out there that they might not have gotten it as a child. They might have been shunned or they might have been abused or just abandoned as a child or whatever it was. So once they get that validation, I mean, at least she's not like out here sleeping with a bunch of people, because that's another form of this same type of addiction or similar. But you know, they're getting this from other people and it just feels good and they long for that constant feeling, even though what she's doing isn't real. That's the problem about it. It's like, yeah, you're getting it, but it's not genuine, and you're deceiving people in order to get this. So it's like how they say hurt people. This is definitely the textbook definition of it, because she's hurting inside and she's longing for something. She's going around hurting different men. I mean, she's done it from what she said before to like 6,000-7,000 guys. Now she's a little bit smaller because, you know, they caught her early. But she said it's like right now she's probably done it to 60 guys, and she's currently only speaking to 12. But even with that, like, who knows what these 12 guys have gone through, whatever, you know, what their stories are. And look at how she's kind of like preying on them, you know? It's terrible to think of it because it's almost like she's a victim, but she's also preying on people, preying on defenseless men who are hurt, and they're just looking for someone in their life, someone to be true and genuine and really listen to them and care for them. And she's kind of manipulating them, you know, and using that as a way to just get in and get what she wants from them. Kind of like an energy vampire, just stealing their energy because she longs, because she needs it, you know? It's really messed up. It really is. And there's so many people that do things like this, and it's terrible. But yeah, so he did tell her how he felt, and I'm talking about Matt, and she did apologize, but initially her apology was pretty dry and apathetic feeling. She was just so like, I apologize. You know, like it was no emotions behind it. It just seems so like dead and cold. And like she really didn't care. So Neve kind of had a conversation with her, and also had a conversation with him in the sidelines. But he did tell her, you know, after she spoke up and said how she feels and why she is like this, he said that he would actually give her a shout out, you know, once she changes her life and actually starts using herself, because he's like, there's no reason why you can't use yourself, and people will actually check in on you as a person, you know. And it actually brought her to tears, and I could see the hurt and I can feel it because I'm an empath. So I felt the hurt that she was going through, and I saw the pain that she was going through. And this is a reason why, I mean, not condoning it and saying it's okay, but I see the reason why she does the things that she does. And she just wants love and support, and she wants people to be there for her. But it seems like she really doesn't have anyone, and that's where the problem lies. So this superficial love and support and validation is what she's accustomed to, or what she's going to accustomed to through social media. She probably barely goes out, you know, and just kind of is a little bit of a hermit. So this is her window to the outside world and to a fantasy life that she wished she had. But 2 months later, you know, they do the updates and things like that. So he's pretty much done with her completely. He's like, once he found out everything, that kind of solidified his decision, like, I'm good. And with her, she said that now she has her own social media account, and she named it on the show, and Neve went ahead and followed her. So, you know, at least that's something for her where she sees the support, you know. So hopefully she'll be able to stay on track, but we thought that before and that didn't work out too well. So we'll see. I'm not gonna put my money on her for real, because I mean, and without constant support, or if people say mean things to her, she could backtrack, you know, because obviously they're gonna be good and bad people. That's just the internet, and she's kind of like a low-key baby celebrity. So it's like people are gonna have their opinions about what you've done. You know, there are going to be people that are going to be like, you know, I'm so proud of you, I'm happy for you, blah, 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 blah. But there's also going to be people that are going to call you out for what you've done, you know, good and bad. So it is what it is. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.